for question number 3, it asks, what is the equation of the perpendicular bisector given by the points 1, 4, and 5 minus 2? Okay, so perpendicular bisector, let's write the definition for that. Perpendicular bisector. Oops. Sector. So that's a line that crosses the middle of the given line at a 90-degree angle. So crosses, same as saying bisecting. A 90-degree angle is equivalent to saying perpendicular, right? So that's what perpendicular bisector is. So when we're given, let's try plotting this so that we can visualize it. Okay. So we have y and x. So we need 4. We need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1 and minus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, so as given in the question, we have points 1, 4, and 5 minus 2. So remember, this is x and this is y. So we have x is equal to 1 and 4. Y, that's equal to 4. So that's this point here. Y 4, 1, 4. And then the second point is x is equal to 5 and y is equal to negative 2. That's down here, minus 2. So imagine that I could draw a straight line between these two, right? The line that we're looking for, the perpendicular bisector, will cross this line, right in the middle, so equally spaced between this point and this point, and it will cross it at a 90-degree angle. I think you get the idea here in my box. So that's a 90-degree angle. So now we just need to figure out what is the equation of this line, right? Okay, so in order to find the equation of this line, we have to find first the slope. So the slope of a perpendicular bisector is always the slope of perpendicular bisector. We're going to call that MP, is always the negative reciprocal of the given line slope, to be specific. The given line slope. So that means we have to find out what the slope of the given line is. Remember, we have the two points that are given here. Okay, so let's find the slope of the given line. Remember the equation for slope is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Of course, you can do it as this as x2 and y2, and this is x1 and y1. It's up to you which you use first. So yeah, y2 is minus 2 minus y1, which is 4, divided by x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 1. Okay, so from this you get the answer of minus 6 over 4, or if you simplify, minus 3 over 2. Okay, so remember it says here for MP, or the slope of the perpendicular bisector, what we want is the negative reciprocal. So negative, we know what that means. Reciprocal is flipped. So the negative reciprocal of the given line slope, which we just found out up here, right? So that is negative 1 over m, and m is negative 3 over 2, okay? So we have two negative signs here. We have this one and this one, which just cancel out. And then we are flipping the 2 up to the top, to the numerator, and that is the reciprocal, right? You can also think of it as 1 divided by 3 over 2, and remember you, what's the word? In order yeah, so if you're dividing, you multiply by the reciprocal. So yeah, that gives you the same answer. Alright, so now we have the slope of the perpendicular bisector. So in order to find the equation of the line, the only thing we need left is a point along this line. So since they share one point right here in the middle, because remember it bisects right in the middle of the given line, all we have to do is find the midpoint between this point and this point, the two given points. Okay, let's do that. So hold on a second, oops. Midpoint, we are going to take the average of the midpoint of both the x points, so x plus x2 divided by 2, and both of the y points. Alright, so this represents the midpoint of the x values, midpoint of the y values, or just the average of the x values and the average of the y values. And that will give you this point right in the middle that both lines share. Alright, I'm just going to write as a reminder we have the points actually given here in the question, so I don't need to write them out again. Alright, let's sub them in. So x1 is 1 plus x2 is 5 divided by 2. Y1 is 4 plus negative 2. Okay, let's just simplify. We have 6 over 2 and 2 over 2, where that just gives 3, 1. And that is our point, or so our midpoint is 3, 1. So that's the value of this point here. Okay, so now for this equation, for the equation of the bisector, the perpendicular bisector, we have both the midpoint and the slope up here, and the midpoint. So in order to sub this into the point slope formula, for the equation of a line, we know that y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So we can sub in y1, which is this. Remember, y1 is 1. Sub in m found up above, which is 2 over 3 times x minus x1, which found to be 3. And there we go. If you want to rearrange this equation into a different form, we can write it in standard form or slope-intercept form, but that should be good for what it's asking, since it's asking for just an equation of the line. All right, so yep, that's the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Yeah, so this solution here also gives it in general form. So if you were just to distribute that slope of 2 over 3 into the bracket, you should be able to get the same form. Yeah, I think we're good for that. Let's say correct. Oops. Good work. And we're ready to move on to the next question.